There's been a lot of debate this week, Harry, about which league's got the strongest array of players. I've seen it on social media, on radio and TV, etc., particularly La Liga and Premier League. So we thought now would be the perfect time. Well, we did until the board collapsed. And as we've got, obviously, Faysal, who's a Real Madrid fan, watches a lot of La Liga. Alex, Arsenal fan, watches a lot of the Premier League. We thought this would be the perfect time to debate. Do you want to hit us with the all-important rules?
The all-important rules, yes. So we've tasked our guests with building the strongest 11 made up of current Premier League and La Liga players. Alex, as the Arsenal fan, is going to select his Premier League picks, and Faysal, of course, as the Real Madrid fan, is going to pick his strongest 11 from La Liga. We'll go position by position. Smithy and I will be the all-important judges. We'll decide which name goes up on the board. But importantly for this one, in true fantasy football style, they don't have to be playing right now. They could be injured. This is the ultimate team when everyone is fit. You're already giving me the side eye. Those
not happy with that.
Don't shoot the messenger. So let's start then with our goalkeeper.
Well, I just say as well, because we've lost a prop, should we build as we traditionally used to do with the goalkeeper at the top?
Let's do it.
Coming down, if that's all right.
Yeah? Okay, so first up then, goalkeeper. I mean, you can't argue with this one, can you?
Come on.
You can't argue with this one as well.
Oh.
Look, we all watched him against PSG. I think this is the best shot stopper I've ever seen.
In football history?
Yes, in my opinion.
Wow.
And then on the ball, I think sometimes because of that he gets underrated. Like the ball he plays to Nunez for the knockdown for Elliot. So, like he's unbelievable.
He always kicks off the attacks as well, doesn't he? That's what you mentioned there. I think what a lot of people don't realise if they don't watch Liverpool week in, week out is how important he is in building up the play. And for a goalkeeper, how many goalkeepers can you really say that about? Incredible. But you don't sound like an Arsenal fan when you're talking about how amazing he is.
For a player of this quality, I think you've got to put your bias aside. He's unbelievable.
Who are you going for then? Who are you putting up against him?
The fewest goals conceded in Europe, the highest save percentage. Alisson has done well, but when Keller has come in, Keller's done well. When Oblak goes out, Atletico doesn't win.
Is that not credit to Kelleher, though, rather than...
It's a credit to Keller, but also speaks volumes about they've got two good replacement. When this guy goes out, Atletico doesn't win. And when he's in the team, they are in contention to win a treble.
Intrigued you've gone Oblak over Courtois. I mean, I know, obviously, great pick, but Real Madrid fan yourself.
Oblak has been the best goalkeeper in the world this season. And Atletico are in contention for a treble because of one other person and this guy mainly. Yeah,
drawn most clean sheets in La Liga this season. He's been brilliant. I feel like with the week he's had and the argument, but I feel like we edged just for Alisson personally.
And a bit of
also, I think Harriet might walk out if we didn't go Alisson because you absolutely adore him, don't you?
I mean, especially after the midweek game against PSG.
A bit
incredible.
Of
fair enough, right. We'll move on to right back.
Right back.
Let's see who you've gone with.
Oh, another Liverpool player.
And I've gone with Jules Koundé.
Okay.
I mean, listen, I can't say nothing bad about my future player that's going to go. But in terms of what Jules Koundé has done this season, the impact, the goals, the assists, and I think he's been a better defender this season for Barcelona. It's a new role, and I think
it's an important point now, obviously, because he's moved roles and he's
moved from a centre back to a right back under this Hansi Flick system. He, for me, has been an incredible player. But
I think fullbacks are like almost like the customised thing for managers. Like it's the one thing they really sort of put their stamp on. I think it depends what you want. On my nerdy maps that I look at in terms of threat, etc., everyone's got a zone where they threaten. Trent's got the whole right-hand side. He is just, in terms of in possession, he's unbelievable. Look, you can look at dribble pass numbers, etc. I think there's always going to be that question mark over him, unfortunately, because of how good he's on the ball. But to me, this is
Do you feel that criticism's fair, the defensive side of things?
I think
it's so focused on
it. Gets overblown, I think. Look, it's probably the weaker part of his game, but that's because he's so good going forward. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I think he's defensively better than what people think he is. And I think the game against Paris Saint-Germain deserves a lot of credit. I think he did very well against Paris Saint-Germain.
He did, yeah.
I think people have got to find something. They've got to give you something, and that's it.
I agree with that. I think that's because he's so good going forward that people it's almost overplayed because he is good defensively as well. Yeah. Are you happy, almost like you were happy to concede this because...
Absolutely. No, for me, Trent is...
There we go.
For me, Trent is the best right back.
OK, stick Trent on then. Faisal has conceded his own picks.
Conceded. Are you going to concede?
Slightly towards you.
Yeah, a bit more.
He plays out wide, doesn't he? Come on, there we go.
OK, let's go then next with the centre-back pairing we want to see.
By the way, Harriet, you're first time on the show, Liverpool fan, two Liverpool players.
I'm not even trying to sway them. And now next up, I believe we've got another Liverpool player in here now. This one's fair enough, though, isn't it, Alex? Virgil van Dijk, Saliba, talk us through that.
Yeah, I think... Look, in terms of the level, like sometimes these guys look like they're 18-year-olds playing U14 football. I mean, it really does look that simple. I think you could argue either way. I think Saliba, in terms of talent, what I've seen at my club, he's right up there. And Virgil speaks for himself.
We had Gabriel earlier, and now we've got Saliba in. Interesting.
I'll be honest. I will concede one of my picks.
Oh, okay.
However, there's one person I'm not conceding. I'm very happy.
Well, let's see. Just hold them up so we can see them.
I'm very happy to concede.
There we go. Nice and still.
Robin de Lamont. I think he's done well this season.
Yeah.
New signing, 40 million. Has improved the back line of Atletico alongside Oblak. I'm happy to. You know what? I'll put him down.
Wow. Okay.
But you're sticking with him.
However, I'm not conceding Kabasi.
Yeah.
Kabasi
Incredible.
this season has been absolutely incredible in terms of passing in the final third. He's the highest of any player in the world. He is amongst the best centre-backs in the world. And for me, it would be Kabasi and Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think, but for me, Kabasi has to be in there.
Do you know what? I would agree with that in terms of, I think because Barca are having such a good season and obviously a lot is made of their attacking prowess and their attacking threat, it can go under the radar how good he's been. Bear in mind, he's only 18 years of age still. Yeah. He's made 36 starts, which is the most of any player aged 18 or younger in Europe's top 5 leagues. And he's got the most touches and passes in La Liga this season with a passing accuracy of 93% for the position he plays in.
Last time I was here, I said
incredible.
He's the best ball player as a centre-back. He's only 18 years old.
Alex, are you happy with Van Dijk and Kabasi? Or I know you're an Arsenal fan.
No, but,
okay.
but I might have to do it. Look, I think you could maybe make an argument that Saliba was a touch better last year. You can maybe make that argument. So if we want to do that, then...
Yeah.
Okay. It's still looking very Liverpool on this board, isn't it?
Premier League bias as well. So I think it's good that we've given Sabasi the props he deserves.
That's going to change as we go through, particularly in midfield. Let's see.
Yeah, let's look at left backs then. Who you gone with?
For me, the best left back so far this season in the world. And it's very weird for me to say this as a Madrid fan, but Balde. I think Balde this season has been incredible. He's been important in the Hansi Flick system, the runs into the final third. Guardiola is a good choice, and I would have had Guardiola, but City's form and his poor defensive ability, he's had so many howlers for me. I'm not putting Guardiola in there.
So many howlers? I don't know if he's had many howlers.
Every game that I watch City, I'm expecting Guardiola to concede a mistake, and it's been.
I think that's a bit harsh.
Go to the slump that City could barely win in. They had one win in 15 games, 16 games. He was one of the main responsibilities for that. I'm not putting Guardiola.
I've got to give context to that, sorry, because he has got most possession won, duels won, sprints and distance in the Premier League for Man City this season. He's also chipped in with 5 goals, top Premier League defending goal scorer as well. So for a bit of context, I think
you're giving me attacking stats.
But I think you're being a bit harsh on him there.
I know. Look, I think occasionally there's moments, but look, there's 4 players who I know this is an attacking stat, but there's 4 players with 8 or more big chances created in one game in the Premier League: De Bruyne, Saka, Kulusevski, and Gvardiol.
Okay, and what about some defensive stats?
No, but you've had them just there. But also, I think, look, there's moments where Guardiola can get caught out, but in terms of the quality he brings all over the pitch, this is a freak profile. He's unbelievable.
He's a freak, I agree. As a better left back, I would even put Akanji in there or someone else in there.
But how old is he? 23?
For me, Balde, going forward, has done well, as good as him in terms of the system that Barcelona has done. And in terms of defensively, he's a better defender.
I know what you mean in terms of the actual position. Do we edge with Balde here because of, obviously, Guardiola's different positions and stuff?
I think if we're talking out and out left back, we're bringing in a lot of attacking stats there, which I do agree with, and I don't really agree with the howlers comment. No. However, I do feel like, that's probably just gone with it.
There we go. Quite a decent split there. Only 2 teams.
I know, only 2 teams.
We're going to change
Good split, but only across 2 teams
in
2 whole leagues. OK, let's go for defensive midfielder.
A player.
Well, it's ultimate. We did say injured players are allowed. Do you feel like you've realised how crucial he is now that he's not been in the side?
It's that simple. It's the Ballon d'Or winner, the best midfielder in the world. And you see what happens when City don't have him. It's that simple.
I think that's a cheat code. I think he hasn't played this season, and I've got.
It's allowed. It's in the
rules. I've got Fede, and it pains. No,
right back.
He's played right back this season. He's done well, but Fede for me is important to our midfield. You guys don't understand the value that he brings. As I said earlier, take him out, Madrid are nowhere near the title contention they are.
As an engine, Fede Valverde is it's insane the numbers he does. But this is the best midfielder in the world.
This is the best.
Well. No, this is the no. Let's just correct it here. This is the best defensive midfielder.
Well, that's what we're doing.
That is the position that we're talking about.
That is very harsh. Okay, you know what? Fair enough.
You accidentally conceded that.
He's not a defensive midfielder.
Alex isn't even waiting for us. He's putting the magnet on the board. He's not waiting for our judgment.
Ballon d'Or winner Rodri makes it in. Let's have a look at your next two midfielders then to see how you've done it as a
This is
as a
rogue.
pair.
This is rogue.
Oh, I'd quite like to come to Harriet here actually, because you've gone McAllister, but is there not another Liverpool player that should be in this for you?
I think absolutely, and it would be, well, Szoboszlai, but I was even going to say Gravenberch, because I know maybe he'd fall into more of that Rodri role, but the fact that Arne Slot's come in and he's totally changed his position, his profile, and he's absolutely shone this season. For me, he's been the most surprise package. I know you've got so many stars in that Liverpool side, but Gravenberch, for me, would edge it over McAllister. Having said that, I do think he's an incredible player and also comes up with goals in really crucial moments this season. Why have you gone with him?
Well, I think you could argue any of the Liverpool players. The only reason Gravenberch is because he's got
Szoboszlai as well recently, like you
Rodri.
mentioned.
It's a bit more sample with McAllister.
Yeah.
This guy can do everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and so can this guy, by the way. But he can do everything. And I think in terms of like block numbers, he really helps out Robertson on the left-hand side, scores bangers. Like I think someone from Liverpool has to be in this midfield, in my opinion. And I think McAllister's a good shout. You could pick someone else as well.
Would you concede him for Declan? Would you concede Declan Rice?
I'm picking
for
Rice
him,
over
though? You're picking
McAllister,
Rice over
100%, yeah,
McAllister.
yeah.
Okay, what are your picks?
I've got the best midfielder in the world and the second best midfielder in the world. And Jude.
You're a big Pedri fan, aren't you?
And Jude and Pedri. Jude, for me, is Mr. Real Madrid this season, and we wouldn't be nowhere near if it wasn't, for Jude, Mr. Jude Bellingham. And Pedri, Barcelona's success comes down to Pedri. I appreciate your selection in terms of, I think Alexis has done very well this season, and I think Declan Rice is having an underrated season. But when it comes to the big boys, you can't question it. And I think these two has been the best two midfielders in the world this season.
I'll concede on Jude. I think I'll be happy with that. But with Rice, I just want to put one more thing forward. Since the start of 2025, he's got like 8 more big chances greater than Salah. And he could be, I think, in my opinion, Rice could be a world-class 6, could be a world-class centre-back, and could be a world-class 8. And by the way, while we've not had a number 9, he's been on the last line as well. He's a machine, Rice.
So
Good
So
answer.
he's conceding Bellingham, so put Bellingham up.
Bellingham, yeah.
And
give you
it's between Declan Rice and Pedri, Faisal.
I'll be honest.
Sample over a wider sample, because Pedri's had the injuries and stuff. I think Rice has got to be in there.
Pedri's injuries was last season, not this season.
No, yeah,
We're talking about this season, and in terms of Pedri this season, Pedri, there is no world, Jupiter, Pluto, Earth. You can't tell me any
Planets,
world.
I wasn't
They're all
gonna
planets,
say.
yeah.
For you to tell me
Pluto.
Declan Rice has been better than Mr. Pedri this season. Yes, you said 6, 8, it's fine, it's cute. Pedri has been one of the best midfielders this season.
It sounds like he's not going to...
Declan Rice is more than cute. He's an absolute... It depends what you want. Like, if you want, quality on the ball, that sort of controlling a game, Pedri. But in terms of the domination that we can do with Declan Rice, I think...
The domination is there with Pedri as well, and the pivot that he's played. We're doing the best 11 of La Liga and Premier League. A best 11 combined has Pedri in it. It doesn't have a Declan Rice in it. I'll be honest, I am not conceding this choice.
I'll go on.
You look like that. I think Faisal looks very angry if we're not going to go with
You know what?
Pedri.
I'm disappointed, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Pedri
He's not angry, he's disappointed.
That's even worse.
It's like your dad.
Pedri not in the 11 is honestly, it's bad. It's a disgrace.
They're both unbelievable players. I'm not conceding Rice. I'm happy for you to...
What do you do this one, Harriet? So, I mean, I feel like, considering Faisal's mentioned Pedri on about 4 occasions on this show already, that let's break down the numbers, show. Most distance in the Premier League for Arsenal this season, Declan Rice. Pedri, 40 appearances, 5 goals, 6 assists for Barca this season, most final third passes. They are quite different players, aren't they? So it's quite hard to actually navigate what we're going for in this midfield.
I'm
How about
glad you're
this?
talking,
How about this?
'cause I was about to
One
lie
last
behind the
point.
sofa. Go on.
Yeah, go on.
One last point. If Pedri is an Arsenal player, Declan Rice doesn't start.
I disagree with that.
Declan Rice would not be a starter.
Declan Rice is a hugely important player for Arsenal.
It will be Jorginho, Pedri and Odegaard. He doesn't start. Pedri has to be a starter in this team.
Completely disagree.
Why?
Because I think specifically Mikel Arteta and what he does in his game model, Rice is everything for him. Everything.
Okay,
I'm
well,
not conceding my choice.
this is my first show, so you know what, Smithy, you're the experienced one.
Wow,
here.
chuck me
You
right
take
under the
your
bus as
pick.
well.
This is a big debate.
I think, by the way, a massive fan of Declan Rice. I think he's probably one of Arsenal's most important players. I think you're saying on this season how important he's been. Bear in mind, Faisal had him as Barcelona's standout form player this season above Rafinha and Lewandowski. Probably just edged with Pedri, but I think that's one of the hardest ones we've done. So stick Pedri up, unless you want to
No
change
Arsenal
it
player
at
in
all.
this 11.
Well, you could have...
Can I have Saliba if you have this?
Mate, no.
Come on.
It's a tight one. that.
Same way, look,
I
the
cannot
same
leave.
way-
I cannot leave this without an Arsenal player.
The same way, I'm a Real Madrid fan, and I've got 3 Barcelona
leave here without
players,
an
and I've
Arsenal
got
player,
more Barcelona players.
Why don't you put him in the
12.
corner?
Right, let's go to the
Corner
next.
as a sub.
Yeah, let's go to the next position. Where do you want to go with next? On the wing.
Come on. Let's not have a debate.
I mean, you know what?
Right wing?
No.
It's funny, we get stats on these players, and the list for Mo Salah was
So
actually too long. Like, I was copying,
true.
pasting it and thinking, have I made a mistake? Is this
Yeah.
for like 3 players worth? But he just continues to break records week after week, season after season.
This is a joke.
Where do you think he ranks in terms of, I think, obviously, he comes up in all of our debates that we do because of the numbers that he puts up consistently. Where does he rank in terms of greatest Premier League players ever? Not just wingers, but in terms of
He's top 3.
what his legacy is. You'd have him in your top 3, would
He's
you?
top 3. I think if this season he does what he does, and I think this season he is about to have the greatest individual Premier League season of all time. No one is doing what he's doing. And if
Goals and assists. by the
goal
way.
and assist. And I think if he breaks Henry's record, and if he has a 30-20 season and wins the Premier League, wins a potential Champions League and a Ballon d'Or, he's doing Ronaldo and Messi numbers in the Premier
In the
League.
modern era.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say something that might sound like an excuse, but it slightly is. Arsenal could have had the best season ever if you've still got the guy who's winning the Ballon d'Or in the other title contender. Do you know what I mean? I think that's not really been. I think it gets taken out of context with Arsenal. People say, "Oh, Arsenal just had a terrible season." Well, hang on, there's the Ballon d'Or guy in the other team. Like that will take some
Ballon d'Or
beating.
guy.
Do you know what I mean?
Ballon d'Or guy.
Okay, let's see who you had.
I mean, it's Salah's greatness is. I can't say nothing to him.
Yeah.
He has to start.
But-
well, Lamine Yamal.
Show it.
Lamine Yamal is absolutely incredible.
17 years old. So impressive.
Let's not normalise this. He's 17 years old, acting like he's playing as a 25-year-old. The assists, the numbers, the impact. Barcelona went on a tough period in November where they barely could win. He was injured for that whole month because that's how important he is.
Do you know what I think about Lamine Yamal as well? We often we get stats back and we often look at stats and numbers, but from an aesthetic point of view, you actually watch him play. His intelligence for a 17-year-old, like how he picks the pass, the positions that he gets in, he's so beyond his years in terms of where he's operating at.
I know football is all about winning, but for me, entertainment is one of them.
Yeah.
He is, for me, the best entertainer in the world today.
Yeah.
Does it concern you he's playing so much at such a young age?
Yes, yes. I feel like it is a worry because Barcelona has had a track record with Ansu Fati and Pedri and Gavi that's had injuries with so many excessive games. But I think Hansi Flick has done well to manage that. He's incredible. But I can't
He's
say
incredible, but are you conceding?
Sorry.
it's Mo Salah.
Okay, let's go to the left wing then. Alex, I feel like you've
I've
bent
cheated.
the rules slightly on
Faisal,
this one.
thoughts on this legendary left winger that Alex has picked? Go on.
I've
Go on,
cheated
reveal
because he
yourself.
played there a little bit for Newcastle. I'll put Isak because I knew exactly who.
What are we doing in here?
I knew exactly who you'd pick, and maybe fair enough. Look, Isak for me is not the best forward in the Premier League, but is the most complete forward in the Premier League. He can do everything: pace,
what you mean by that.
height,
Yeah.
link up, run in behind, drop in either side. He's for me. Arsenal fans, go back and forth about whether we could sign him. If there's a sniff that we can get him, I want him.
I was going to say, we're going to have angry people in the comments because
Oh, yeah,
another
fine.
Arsenal fan with Isak's name in their mouth, it's common at the moment,
That's
isn't
fine.
it? How much of a difference do you think he would make to your team?
He would transform us. He'd transform us. And, supposedly he's the phrase is the apple of Mikel Arteta's eye. Actually, he's the apple of everyone's eye. Do you know what I mean? He's that good. I think the shame is, supposedly we looked at him when he was at Sociedad. I think something that a lot of Arsenal fans feel is they want to take more risks in the market, and that's why a lot of people are looking at Šeško and saying, is he the next guy? But for me, the frustration is with Arsenal, people will go, well, Arsenal need a win now forward, that that's the only way they're going to win the league. That you suggest someone, you go, you couldn't get him then. Okay, well, we're stuck then. So we can't sign the guys who make us win the league, but we need to sign the guys who make us win the league. Let's put up the money. We've done £100 million for Declan Rice before. It would probably be way more than that. But if there's a sniff, and I think this is basically based on if Newcastle don't get Champions League football, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
agreed, he's an incredible player, but I do
Incredible
feel
player, but as a left winger.
You've got a
He's played off the
pretty
left from
strong
Newcastle.
argument.
I'm bending the
back,
rules because I
haven't
knew
you?
who you'd pick.
Rafinha, if we're based on the season, that's nothing. I mean, Salah is, of course, the Ballon d'Or winner. He is very close to that in terms of the numbers he's had. He, for me, is a GA machine. Even if he doesn't have a great game, you still expect him to score an assist. Like the other game, Benfica in the Champions League, away leg. Barcelona, 10 players for 75 minutes. This guy comes in out of nowhere, scores the winning goal. He's been incredible, and what a player. What a player.
25 goals in all comps, career best that is, by the way. I think.
Career best.
I think with that, the fact that you picked a player out of position, I think we've got to go Rafinha. But I think, yeah, shout out for Isak as well. By the way, 7th quickest Premier League player ever to 50 Premier League goals, Alexander Isak. What a player. But I think it's got to be Rafinha, isn't it?
I think Rafinha is the obvious choice for that one.
Okay, one player. Now, this, again, Harry, you threw me under the bus. I'll let you have this one.
Okay.
The next one, because this is, we've got Haaland
I think this
versus
one's
Mbappe.
worse. What are you
Yeah, it
doing
is,
to
yeah.
me?
Wow.
Okay, Alex, you put forward your argument first. Go on.
Pure goal scorer. City haven't had their best season. They haven't. I'm not saying that. But also Mbappe started slow. I mean, so it was starting slow. What was he on? Probably 50 goals or something. But both of them haven't had their best season. But in terms of, if you set up a system to work for Erling Haaland, he will deliver you world-class Premier League, Champions League winning level as he's shown. That is all it is. Basically, if you play the system to him, he's a game-breaking, world-class centre-forward. Unbelievable.
Okay.
So
Setting
patronising, by the way.
himself. Okay. You tried.
Mbappe, in a bad season, has got over 25 goals.
I thought it was 50, so fair.
And out of the 25 goals, over 60% of them are either winning goals or equalisers. He's been very impactful, even though he's having a bad season. His last 4 months, since December, when he came out and said, I have to be better, December, January, February, March, he's having a better 4-month stretch than Erling Haaland has done this whole season. Haaland started well,
Yep.
Mbappe started bad. The last 5 months, this guy's having, they're one of the best. He is in contention for Ballon d'Or. Where is he?
Well, he's in a bad City team, is what he's in. But I still think, in terms of just pure quality, as a number 9, I still think he could go in the team. Look, I think we have to apply. Like, I'm not wishing to be disrespectful to La Liga, but I think the Premier League is a harder league.
Let's not do this now.
That's a whole other debate.
That's a whole
I think
other
we're
debate.
gonna
Don't
go
agree.
Get us back on.
That is the biggest myth. I hate this narrative. Oh, La Liga is an easier league to score against. I mean, come on, really?
Okay, so if you put Alaves up against Aston Villa,
Marco Asensio are now scoring for fun in the Premier League.
I'm not saying La Liga's down here, but I'm saying I think the Premier League is harder. I think most people would say.
I completely disagree. If Arsenal playing, you guys complain about low blocks, low block this, low block that. Come and face the low block that we have in La Liga. You guys would not have it.
I feel like that's a different argument, isn't it? We're going
Well,
away
back
from
on.
Haaland, very different players, obviously. Haaland and
got the
Mbappe.
stats.
We knew,
Harry, do you want to make the
we knew what would
decision?
happen, didn't we? So we actually went to the stats team. Haaland 28 goals all comps this season. Mbappe 27 all comps. Just edges it, doesn't he? You're literally looking at me like I'm actually a bit scared. I don't know what to do.
You going Haaland?
When they needed
One more goal,
just,
mate.
Just very quickly. Last argument. City and Real Madrid played in the playoffs. Just earlier. Who scored a hat trick?
Go on, Harriet.
That's a great shout.
Who scored a
Your
hat trick?
decision.
And he didn't even start, by the way.
The final argument plus the evils, you're having it.
Fair enough. Right, there it is. There is confirmation. Wow.
Is there not an Arsenal player in that team, man? Can I have Saliba? If you're pushing that Holland Pedro, can I have Saliba? Please.
Okay, no, we're not switching it. There is confirmation
go.
then
Wow.
of our ultimate Premier League and La Liga 11.